Well, really, I think the biggest issue for us has been our differences. For example, I'm really not very tidy, and Andy's tidy, which is actually the opposite to the stereotypes.
And that was a problem when we first got married, because I couldn't really relax in a room. If I walked into the lounge and it wasn't tidy, I couldn't relax, could I?
Yeah.
Until I'd made it tidy.
Yeah. It would feel like Andy was constantly having a go at me, and when we were really tired, all we wanted to do was just sit down and watch some TV or something. And Andy couldn't he just felt he couldn't relax until the house was tidy. And you'd kind of like put things on the stairs, and I would walk past them, and you'd think like, well, why? They were things to go upstairs. Why haven't you taken them upstairs? And I wouldn't even really see them.
It seems a silly little thing, the tidiness of the house, but it really was the one thing that if we were going to have an argument, that we argued about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It had a really, quite bad effect on the relationship, didn't it? Because maybe there's bigger issues that are actually making you tired or anxious or affecting your relationships, but so often it's these smaller issues that you actually end up really obsessing with and really focusing on and really arguing about.
You just think you're so different. You just kind of, you think, and another thing, and you stop focusing on the things where you do agree or where you are similar or where you do connect. And all you can look at is the differences and the way things aren't working. And when you start focusing on all of those things, they just drive this massive wedge, and you think, I actually can't live with this person anymore. I just don't connect with them. This isn't working. Shall I get out? It just doesn't work, does it, really? Because quite often I think we'd get really defensive. We'd start talking, and then the other one would get defensive and say, well, it's because, and then we wouldn't really listen to each other properly.
But what we actually did was I just let Fee talk about it, how she felt, without any interruption. And I think you spoke for 20 minutes until you hadn't got anything else to say. I wasn't trying to interrupt her, I was just listening all the time. And that was a really powerful thing. And then you did the same thing round the other way.
When we started to really listen and really care, it made us want to kind of work together. So I've become a bit more, I understand that tidiness is important to you, so I have become a bit more tidy. I think I've become a lot more tidy, actually.
Well, yeah, realising ultimately we couldn't fundamentally change each other, so we stopped doing that. And Fee's become tidier, and I've hopefully become a bit more relaxed in terms of...
I think the stop trying to change each other was really an important thing as well.
But perhaps
really
you try and
helped.
change yourself, don't you? I mean, I was trying to change and be more relaxed about things, and you were trying to change yourself a little bit. But it is a work in progress, because we still, of all the things we might have a little flashpoint about, particularly if we're tired or stressed or...
It's still the thing we argue about the most.
It's still the house, but cut each other some slack.
We kind of work together now, don't we? And
a bit
try
more.
and be a bit nicer to each other.
Definitely.
Yeah.